Welcome to the CEO and the Salesman podcast. I'm your host, Matthew White. I'm the salesman part of the title. Each week, I sit down with CEOs and entrepreneurs to discuss and dissect their journeys, filled with triumphs, challenges, and some good old-fashioned business wisdom. Get ready to laugh, learn, and be inspired as we dig into leadership, strategy, sales, marketing, and everything in between. This is the CEO and the Salesman podcast. Let's get on with the show. Welcome to the CEO and the Salesman podcast. Today we're joined by Dawson, CEO of Schoolzine. G'day, Dan. How are you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Really well indeed, really well. And look, I wanted to kick off one of the hot topics that happened for the last couple of years when it comes to technology is digital transformation. And I know that you took the business through that process. One of the challenges that I hear a lot about is getting buy-in across the organization for those types of things. So can you just take us through the process that you had when it comes to digitally transforming Schoolzine?
Yeah, look, I think buy-in is probably the best word for it, and people play the biggest part. A lot of people focus on the tech. They focus on what systems changing, or focus on what new capabilities, or what new commercial outcomes you get after the transformation. But people kind of don't think about the staff and who's involved and sort of what they have to go through. And one of the biggest things I've learned doing it, and I've done it in use systems, and I've done it on projects as well, before I started in the CDO seat. And it's a concept called a psychological contract. It's not the contract that you sign and that you could ink on, it's sort of about pay, it's some about benefits. It's about how you perceive yourself or how work perceives themselves working for you. And one day it's doing ABC activities that they've mastered, that they've done for years. And then you've got to come in and say, mate, you have to stop doing activities A, B, and C, and you have to do things a different way. You have to do things my way. It's changing. Your system's new. We've got to keep up with the trends. And if you can't sell that, and if you can't sell the vision, and you can't sell benefits, both for them personally, and how they're going to live their lives after the transformation, what they're going to do day to day, it's really, really hard. So there's a big element of people themselves thinking to it. I underestimated that, I think. And yeah, it's crazy stuff that you think wouldn't upset people really upsets them. And you know, I had a mom guy at the project I managed, and he spent 2 years writing a piece of code that could get replaced by a SaaS, which was about $30 a month. You know, so and this was a great team player. Like, how do you take someone through that journey emotionally to say, hey, like, thanks for writing this, but no, I really did a market scan to see that actually there's this tool over here that we can be using instead of, just sort of this own system and Excel macros or, something like that. So yeah, there's a big emotional component to it. And I think it might be lost at the board level and the director level sometimes about how much it really impacts employees.
Yeah, okay. This is psychological contract. I've not heard that term before. Is that one you made up, or should I do some Googling for you?
I think I derived it from a few things I learned at uni, and a few things I still regret. It's just, it's only perceiving going to what your responsibilities are, what you learn in the business, right? Because it's never on paper definition. People have a natural tendency to be good at something. The team will always throw that piece of work, they'll own it, and that'll be how they go home on a Friday. Like I'm the CSS guy, or I'm the Excel person, or I'm the design person. And it's embedded in their identity. So you're kind of asking someone who spends, 50% of their waking hours with a particular identity and a particular set of skills, and encouraging that, you're saying, actually, come and do it my way, it's better. And that could be a product, it could be something they own, it could be a process, and a process change. And so you're constantly having to lead in that and do that personality to say that it's worth it. And it's emotionally taxing. I think a lot of organization change as well as digital transformation leaders will tell you that it's pretty brutal because you get these people who pull you aside for a one-on-one and say like, look, I really have a problem with this, and yeah, they don't on you. And I think if you got that founder energy or you've got that leadership energy, you try and get okay with chaos. It's a personality trait, but not all your workers are okay with chaos. Not all your workers are okay with change, and that was the biggest starting test for me. Was just like learning that from there.
Yeah, interesting. So you mentioned chaos, and I know that in a previous conversation you were talking about the turmoil. So how did you go about, let I guess, managing through that turmoil, that process of bringing the business to where you want it to be today?
I think.
And you want to maybe give me a little bit of background, but not too much. But
yeah,
what was the what was it, some of the challenges you dealt with?
Yeah, look, I think a big one is psychological safety with staff, and I think you can Google that or I think that one better up. But
I've heard that one.
coming in, um, coming in, but I sort of came into a bit of a half-cocked transformation that it wasn't set up and probably framed really well, and it seems to me that how to feel my career. I sort of come in and fix stuff. And we really wish I'd been there at the start because I probably could have helped a few pitfalls. But the biggest challenge I've come into is one where a few people have been sort of let go because, and Schoolzine is a good example where, inevitably a business that goes from upsetting newsletters to schools and turns into a SaaS, sort of a digital transformation, there's going to be people who stop work, and having people that have worked together for 5 or 6 years suddenly leave. People be given notice. People, probably worse than the redundancies and stuff, for people who pack their bags and leave because of the threats, because they go out half and they and they bring everyone else down and they say, well, I can't do this. This is a shocker. So and it's not, it's across multiple businesses. I think was keep off some of these things, some of these failures, and expect managers to just know how to deal with it. But they don't. Like, if you haven't been exposed to it, how are you going to know how to nurture and team through it? It's a very specific skill set. And I think there's consultants, they earn their money well and they advise managers about transformation, but without that psychological safety, people suddenly change and they're like really afraid to make mistakes, which is not what you want, because you want people in the whole face to be really open with you about the change and tell you if you're sailing towards an iceberg or that you are making really bad decisions and that you're actually going to upset a lot of customers by changing something, but at the same time, balance that, knowing that they kind of don't want to change as well. So I think you have to probably be safe to start off. You have to say, look, like, people have left, things have changed, but you're safe to tell me, what you need to tell me. And if you can't cultivate enough safety, maybe you're left in it down the side of it, they're going to be so fearful they won't speak up and they won't contribute to the dismissal and the slam that they did before the transformation.
But that's really fascinating. What I think is interesting is that you've been a technical person for 20 years, doing a lot of hard skills, a lot of programming, and then all we've spoken about today is, from a CEO's point of view, is the soft skills of people management, of psychological safety, and what did you call it? The psychological contract with your people. So, how did you go from that hard skills, the programming skills, to those soft skills? What's been the process there?
Very difficult, really. I don't think I'm a natural. Well, I wasn't. I didn't start off as you go through the person. And I started getting vet roles and things like that. And I got a kick out of helping people with their careers and helping people, coaching people. And I had a bit of a gift and a gab, and I think that got to me when I was working with other developers who, the tendency there is to be introverted or, because we stare at computers all day and we were like, hey, so not like the salesperson on the phone every day, cultivating those skills. And so it was really rewarding to see an awesome dev suddenly challenge themselves, go over their comfort zone and lead things in either technical discussions or in training sessions and things like that. And because as a technical lead, your most quiet developer might be your smartest that has the best ideas. So you have to both, when you're mediating sessions, like get them to talk, but you've also got to coach them as a leader and as a manager to help them get that confidence. And that's where I kind of found a love for it. And it just came down to practice and reflection. And you just, the more you talk, the more you practice, the more you stand in front of a group of people, the more you try to sell a vision, you get better and better. And I used to agonize over an email. I'd spend 2 hours looking at a draft email, being like, how do I make this better? What's, this person going to say right back to me? What have I missed? And then you end up with these like eight-page emails, and then you think, this isn't right. I can't email this. And then I realise I'm in my comfort zone. I'm behind my laptop. I'm fighting like, how this buffer between me.
Chop you away.
Yeah, and man, in the rawness of the situation. And I sort of moved from this person who would be, a bit of a keyboard warrior, would be the great written communicator. But I had to become that talker and that person that could get in front of people. And first year I was a bit of a brat, like, to be honest. That's how you get better. But over the years, I just cultivated the ability to feel more confident when I talk, spoke to people and led them. And eventually, I'm like, it's actually, I feel comfortable selling the vision. People, when I talk now, are sort of nodding instead of, zagging out or freaking out or whispering amongst one another. So, it's really tough at first. It's a tough transition, but just practice and reflection, guys, which is a key.
Yeah, cool. Okay, you've mentioned vision a couple of times. So, how important do you think it is to actually be able to articulate that vision to your team? And then does that vision then become your North Star? Is that the point we're pointing in this direction? Here's the vision. Is it a conversation of, so I guess there's two ways you could do it. You could say, this is where we're going, get on the bus or not. Or is it, let me help you get on the bus, let me help you engage with the vision? So how do you manage that process?
Yeah, well, I guess it's the carrot or the stick in a way. And you do have to say, you do have to draw a line at one point and say that on the bus. Don't do that on day one. Like, if you go in as a pirate, you will just make enemies of everyone. And I think my rule of the thumb is, it's the 80-20 rule, like everything about 80% of people, if you sell using well, will get on the bus with you and get on the journey. And they will say, really, look, they'll be hard. Some will be easy to sell, some will be harder to sell. But there's this sense of it is 20% block that you can just never win favor. Maybe better people can than me, like maybe they can get 100%, but I've never had everyone on board, and it doesn't mean 20% people quit. But it's just that they don't buy into the vision the same way, and they don't buy into me as a leader the same way, and they're dragging that people with everyone else. So, back to the vision, I think you and the team have to align on it. I think you and, if you're in middle management as well, doing this kind of work, you and, if you're a CEO, it's you and the board. If you're a middle manager, it's you and the CEO and the board. All have to align on the sales start, because you can't have any kind of undermining or pivot from that vision arbitrarily, but they all have to align. And then you've got to get the buy-in down and say, this is the new vision. Here it is, and this is their North Star. And then as you're sort of working with people and making in the weeds changes, like, like we use this Excel spreadsheet with me script anymore. We're going to use the database, something like that. And they own that spreadsheet, they're off you. And it's like, the vision is, we want all our tech to be modernized and automated and you don't have to do this anymore. And then the next thing is that we're going to train you to do something else, something more fun. We're not going to just give you the boot because this thing that you do is important. I see those skills as translatable into this, this yellow out over here. So let's do some training, let's do some of those really well. And so as you start doing that, they can see that vision and then they can also see themselves contributing to that vision from a day-to-day perspective. And suddenly it clicks and they go, well, actually, yeah, Dan also had to use the subkey. When it gets there, I'll be a designer, or I'll be I'll know C# or I'll know PHP, or because he's giving me the time to learn on the job, maybe 5-10 hours a week as we transition, but as opposed to me in that meeting. And so they won't buy us in visions and they see themselves working with you for it on the other side of the transformation. And if you can't create that clarity for them, because they're not going to be imaginative and they might not have the same drive as you, they need a bit of a push to say, you can do it, I believe in you. I want you on the other side with me, because whether it's Excel or a database or whatever, this person might have 10 years of experience in that vertical or with those customers or something that you don't want to lose as a business. And it's just a matter of an upskill and getting them to sort of, wider the vision. So yeah, I can do that. I can, be that designer, be that founder. So yeah, it's a sales process as much as anything. I think selling that dream.
Well, I love that. So you talked about training a little bit. So how much time do you spend training the team members? So when you think about that training, do you then say, what do you want to do, and then find that out, and then try to train that? Or do you say, these are the skills we need, who wants to do them?
Yeah, that's a tough one because...
Or something different.
Yeah, well, it's... At the end of the day, like, the organisation requires some skills. So that there is that point of it. If it's fundamentally, incompatible with what they want to do, then it almost becomes an easy conversation because it's like, here's where we are. And those people fall into that sort of percentage, like being bought on to everyone, that there isn't always the same level of success or the box of theories, people coming on the journey. So yeah, sometimes you do have to set it up. This is where it's hard. And then type of training can be anything from on the job to go on when to do a course.
And do you pay for those courses, or do you ask them to do it because it's their own personal development? How do you manage that?
I think a business should always pay for it, to be honest. But I think if I, as a leader, encourage a lot of personal development anyway, and I kind of have a standing policy that if you go and find that source that you're interested in that benefits the business, go and do it. Because otherwise you get people who, maybe it's only $100, right? But courses are pretty cheap these days online. Maybe it's $100, which isn't much at all for your business, but that might be, that's a cut of if you were staffing or something like that. So yeah, you should. I think leaders should have that policy and get people to come to them with stuff they want to learn. And the tricky part is saying, look, that's never going to fit into our business. So you can pay for that push stuff. I'm not paying for you to go to a shoemaking course, where my IT company. If you create it, you can be like, yes, you can make posts because I'll, posters for everyone, once a week. So you give them the opportunity to do it themselves, and it comes back to a bit of psychological safety too with long-term training. Like if you're trying to get someone, and I've done it before, like to get someone to learn a Photoshop to do some sort of level they learn a bit of Photoshop or a bit of Canva and produce something that the customer sees. And so there's this threshold that goes from theoretical learning where they're safe, there's a muck around and what we're sending it to you. And then you cross this threshold and you're actually sending it to a client and getting feedback from your paying customer.
Yeah.
And that's where the safety has to be rock solid. And it's like, mate, you have to give it a bit of a push, but it's like, if that last enough of happens as it's bad, I'll have him back. I'll work with the customer. I'll come in. I'll mediate. And it absolutely love it. It's all anxiety, and they're doing a good job. And there's internal quality control measures to make sure they're doing a good job. But that person is exposing their work and then you learning for the first time. And if they don't feel safe, if they feel like the CEO is going to come down on them because, oh, hey, I've just shot you off of some Photoshop course and his image isn't good enough, they're going to be even more racist and they're going to not want to do it. And so if you cultivate that way, it also cultivate that psychological safety and keep reiterating that message and saying, we're all learning here. Mistakes are okay. No one's getting sacked for making a mistake. We're all doing this for the first time. There's a lot of change in the air. So if you can get that message across to make people feel safe, before they know it, they've done 10 images to customers and they're guru. In a year, they're gurus. So, yeah, psychological safety kind of underpins a lot of it.
So you talk a lot about the psychological safety and working with your team. How many meetings do you have a week? I'm really getting right down to the weeds here, but what level of meetings cadence do you have? And just want to understand how you run your business. Yeah. So is it a daily stand-up? Is it a weekly? Take me through the cadence of meetings and how you manage that.
Sometimes some weeks my calendar is a bit depressing, and I'm like, where am I going to eat? And after this, another week to stop. It's a massive challenge as well, working remote as opposed to in person. And when I first started exploring coaching, working with transformation projects, it's so easy to see in person who's upset. You can tell by the way they look into the room. You can tell by the way they lose. It's like an alarm system, but it's so easy to take people's temperature in the kitchen. Like when they say the microwave and then start on themselves so much, they usually sit there and that to set up that one alarm. So that cadence is kind of, it was asynchronous. It was them broadcasting a signal to say, I need some support and I need a one-on-one. When you're working from home, if I have a 20-minute meeting with you, you couldn't last how you're feeling really easily. You can tell the boss what he goes, like when it's, so it's all good here, don't worry about the boss. And I get it buzzed too, right? Because I stick to that, and like, that's fine, but inside you're off me, you're off the project, you're off the process, I'll see, looking for another job, whatever. And so
finish the meeting, go downstairs and watch a bit of Netflix.
Yeah, as well, because we're remote, right? So how do I keep that trust in it, and how do it's so much harder. And I think I totally get why leaders say I want everyone in the office, but I think the difficulty with that working from home, you can overcome it. So with my alarms, I try to have them anywhere between weekly, fortnightly, and monthly, depending on the person, depending on the situation. And then I have different stand-ups to different teams. And then I kind of do it based on the organizational structure. Probably the biggest one with team meetings is making sure the ceremony is still relevant, and that you're getting those tells about people, that you're getting the feedback. If you don't have a relevant meeting, don't have a meeting for the sake of having a meeting at all. You're not only wasting your own time and company money, but your staff know it's a low value meeting as well. And so, but we do things like retrospectives, and you're trained to do retrospective format to say, hey guys, like safe space. Everyone write down on virtual post-it, and there's plenty of apps that look up you to that in Teams. So write on a virtual post, and Mad Blast Start is a great one. What made you mad this week? What made you hard this week? What do I need to start? But then change the format, be less emotional and more sort of product focused, and change it to what worked well, what didn't work well. We'll do more of it ourselves. So there's all these ceremonies that you can build in, and you've got to have a bit of an arsenal to know which ceremonies to implement with which team and when, and how to sort of supplement that with one-on-ones, how to get the temperature checks. And then, to top it all off, try to have a lunch or try to have something out of the office. Try to meet with people for coffees if you can. It's not like it's a big drive, but the FaceTime's good too if you can sprinkle that into that's working. That's okay.
Yeah, got it. My team are all over Australia. I'm in Queensland on the Gold Coast here, and then my team are in Melbourne and Sydney. And actually, I don't have any team members on the Gold Coast. I have no team members within 100 kilometres of me.
Yeah, so
I've never met some of them.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've worked with people in New South Wales for like 3 years, and they've met them, and then has corporate retreats and met them for the first time, and it's really weird. And it's good. If you can afford it, like not every business just going out of afford these, just get everyone in the plane, if it's one of the central, but if you can, or even with half the team enjoy it, and put everyone up in the combination, it does pay dividends. I think the weirdest thing is everyone finally seeing each other. Like no one knows how tall anyone is, and it's a bit weird, and everyone kind of about. So I saw you were like 6 foot, and
everybody's the same height.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good. It's not super critical these days, but I like to hire. It's kind of hard if you've got a promote organisation and you've got like 3 people on one side of the screen and one person in Perth, and those 3 people can meet for a coffee and meet for drinks or whatever, but that person in Perth is kind of stranded. So it never works out that way, but if you can hire in pairs or as well, at least that kind of helps, and you can have, and if you can do, beers on trains, you can send everyone pizza, you can send everyone Uber Eats, and you can do things that way if you can't quite afford the airline ticket for everyone. And I've had success with that. Let's just have an hour of the teams, and everyone's had a bottle of wine and stacks delivered to them. Let's do that for half an hour on Friday. Had it optional, then have that chat. And it's not the same as hanging right out to the largest size like it was back in the day, but it's different. This is the new normal after over life, and with this as a leader, sort of work. Just let it navigate it.
And so how often do you get together socially, or try to, with those Zoom beers or whatever you call it? So how often do you get together with your team that way?
Yeah, well, every few months. We're the last teachers that schools are going to just transitioning and so a lot of their staff are at the same from coast, but with our family in the Gold Coast and some in Brisbane, so it's close enough to meet in person. I try to catch up with people at least once a month, once or twice. It doesn't have to need gear. It just needs to be a chat, like an open chat without an objective. And you would just be amazed with what happens. And I think with teams, it's really easy to drop the banter and the water-cooled conversations that happen. And you just got to sort of try and cultivate that from screen, which is tough. I don't think anyone's really nailed it at the same level as during COVID.
So you talk about the process that people go through, and just talking about your process in the business. So how has the digital transformation gone? I mean, people talk about digital transformations a lot, and in your business in particular, you went from actually a physical magazine to an online magazine. Has it actually paid dividends? I often hear from business leaders that, we tried to do a digital transformation, we spent millions of dollars, or we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it was just no real benefit, or actually a fail because we were actually out that money. How did your digital transformation go?
Yeah, good. and it's in photos as well. So no, yeah, I mean it's a single effort. Yes, you know,
Great.
our customers are not pure SaaS, like a B2C SaaS. I think our customers, we still have people, and they're the very simple thing, and been through, our sort of 6 to 8 years, 10 years at Silver as an explorer, and with Philip, and it's been phases, and part of the transformation is to bring customers over to new tools, and that's always tricky. Um, and so I guess having that, measured success with it is, did we set out to achieve the objective, and it's just not, it's just utilize the customers, and so I think now we started off with 100% on this manual build thing, and the first stage in the transition was, look, you don't want to use the SaaS tool, that's fine, but we'll build it inside the SaaS tool for you. So we had to get an element of that manual building. There's still some of our customers still use it today, but it's very influential that there's back to 80%. It's 80% our move for self-service. And it's just there's a adoption. I think it's diffusion innovation or something. The product adoption curves. There's always a bell curve where there's just trailing end of people, and it's like those heavily refused to get a smartphone, and how it's all because you know they're stating that they're not ready to make a change, and we're accommodating that. They're focusing on 80% of people that are using it as a SaaS, and which is an amazing transformation. And the tools themselves, our customers should be proud too, because they've created the environment where they can learn a new system to send out this to the out. Because that's not an easy thing, and it's got, a sick kid, holding in a budget behind you. You've got a parent over there, like an office there as well. If the principal wants something, and you're trying to do this sort of community engagement piece. So, we come in and help where we can. And I think if we get a transformation like before, they just said we need 100% of customers on this new platform by 2023, we would have lost extra customers, but it was getting that feedback from staff and picking that combination between being supported and say, yeah, like, look, I agree with that, and also ending it more correct and say, look, that's a BS excuse, and we have to make this change. I know we're going to get a fit under phone calls, but as a business, you just got to make that decision because, you need to change. Like, you can't have a legacy system, 10 customers, like, you have to pull those 10 customers and, again, do a sales pitch. Where exactly. So,
got it.
It really was that, you pull out the carrot, you pull out the stick, you pull out the support, you give the staff the support, you give the customers support. And where we're at now is a massive improvement. Cool. And anyone who says we nailed a digital transformation perfectly, I think, is all of it, because you can never see the whole thing at the start when that's it. You sort of have to make little bits of it up as you go along. Yeah. So I think that we did a good balance between knowing and also getting there, but also taking on customer and staff feedback into it. And where we've made it, is much more comfortable. And there's another thing we do is the freeze, unfreeze change approach, which is like do a bunch of changes.
Okay, check that out. Freeze, unfreeze, change approach.
Yeah,
give me the brief on that.
It's as simple as it sounds, really. Like, you do a bunch of changes and just stop. Making changes for a month. Do a bunch of changes and stop. So you let everyone acclimate to a new level of normal. And I think we've done a good change. A freeze unfreeze approach has been pretty good. And we have allowed ourselves to take a breath and say, hang on, we just got 300 customers over from this phone system to new system and just went and found it. That's a party moment because that system's been going for 10 years and we can follow sunset, we lose all that technical debt, all the staff are still here, you guys got retrained on the new system. Take time to reflect on that and then take time to stop the change process for a minute, a hot minute. And it might be enough, 2 months, 6 months, but just enjoy the new ball for a little bit because I think managers feel they have to keep pushing to the next level straight away. And I think that's a bit of a pitfall because if you push too hard, you lose people and you lose confidence and no one knows which way is up. So, yeah.
Yeah, right. Back to that psychological safety piece. We're going to make sure that people actually understand what we're trying to achieve. And that's interesting. So, how long would you take those freezes? How long would you take that time off from new innovation?
But look, I use myself as a bit of a barometer, to be being honest, because I think people leading the change are feeling it emotionally. Because A, everyone's dumping it on you, their emotional things in it, and then B, you've got maybe born breathing down your neck, or maybe you've got a big, hairy, audacious goal that you set to yourself, and if you get to the end at that celebratory mode, you're like, you probably know, like, actually can feel it if you're doing the proper plan. Yeah, but I'm emotionally drained yet there. We can turn, like, we can sort of think about what we're going to do next, but let's not pull any levers until we're all good. And there might be a natural milestone, and in our business, school holidays is a good one because there's fortnight goes really quiet. So, maybe that's the best time to pick up the change again, or maybe we have a new hire and maybe it's a month after they get on board that we kick up the change again. But there's very hard and fast rule. I think if you're emotionally drained, stop. Because if you're emotionally drained, you can't serve your staff. You can't be there for them. You've got to make bad decisions. You got to be too pushy. So I think leaders have to really reflect and sort of be honest with themselves about where they're at, and that'll lead to a natural freeze unfreeze. Get it to a milestone and stop. Take a breath, reward yourself, reward your staff, keep going. Because otherwise everyone burns out and you're going to fail.
That's great, Dan. Look, I really enjoyed this conversation today. I'm going to let you get back to your day. Hopefully it's not too full of meetings.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate your time. So one thing I wanted to finish on is, what do you think are the 2 or 3 skills or 2 or 3 things that upcoming CEOs who are listening to this, people who are in the technology space, what are the 2 or 3 things they need to think about as they transition to grow and scale their organization?
Yeah, look, I think put people at the center of that growth because you're not going to single-handedly do it. And if you're listening to your people, cultivate the soft skills that we've talked about today, they're gonna work for you. And if they feel psychologically safe, they're gonna try out the next $1 million business idea. If they have a great psychological contract with you, they're gonna know that part of that contract is innovating growth and, having fun and, celebrating the success and celebrating the wins. So if you cultivate that with your people and get the right people in, they can, really surprise you by how much they contribute to your growth. Then, yeah, I think that's key because it's not a magic bullet in technology. It's not a magic bullet with a process. It's not you. I think leaders definitely shouldn't put themselves at the center of business growth, but I think they need to set very as a vision and then really cultivate people to help get the distance there. If you do that more on later, it becomes really easy.
Dan, absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Some of the interesting words and choices you've made throughout the conversation today, and it's been not very much technical stuff. It's all been that soft skills. So really appreciate your time. Thanks very much, and hopefully we talk again.
Thanks, Pat. Cheers, Mike.
Thanks, mate. See ya. Bye.